Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Sam. I'd like to welcome you to my EyeClarity Podcast. This is a show that offers cutting-edge information on how to improve your vision and overall wellness through holistic methods. I so appreciate you spending part of your day with me. If you have questions, you can send them to hello@drsamberne.com. Now, to the latest EyeClarity episode. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Sam, and I want to welcome you to an EyeClarity podcast. As part of December and January, we are inviting the Holistic Health Summit participants, the speakers, and today I'm going to do an interview with a really amazing person. I have the deepest respect for her. Her name is Gabrielle Buresch-Teichmann. And wow, she has a resume that's really long, so I'll keep it fairly short. She's a pioneer in holistic color and consulting. She's a color and light therapist who lives in Austria, internationally known for over 30 years. She's a facilitator and teacher. She also does private sessions. She's founder of something called the Color Lights World Project, which I'm going to have her speak about. She's also an author. The book is titled "In the Beginning, There Was Red." I love that. So you should check that out. It's on Amazon. And we're going to have a really lively conversation today on light and color from Gabrielle's perspective. So Gabrielle, I want to welcome you to the program. I feel so honored that you're here. How are things going? How are you?
Thanks a lot, Sam, for having me. I'm very much looking forward to the summit, and I feel very happy and honored to be part of this and to have the opportunity to contribute.
Okay, well, we have a lot to ask you, but before we get to that, I've been following you on your website and LinkedIn and Facebook. And can you tell us a little bit about your Color Lights project? I've been observing and being part of the kind of the listenership. Share what this project is, what it's all about, and how people can access it.
Yeah, so 1 year ago in fall, exactly in fall 1 year ago, I founded the Color Lights World Project. So together with a group of 10 international color light experts based in the US, in South Africa, in Europe, and in Japan, we are offering Zoominars and Zoom events and also color weeks with the aim of spreading the knowledge, the beautiful energy, the healing, and the inspiration of color and light, especially in these challenging times that we are having now since more than 1.5 years. So this in the last winter and fall season, I ran 12 Zoominars with these international experts who are specialists in different areas of working with color and light and have different approaches. So we did 12 Zoominars. And it was really quite amazing what we were able to spread and share, because we did color tests on Zoom, and we even did a color light therapy session on Zoom. So very interesting. And then this year, and actually last December, we started the project. The first thing we did is we did 2 events called Color Lights Gifts to the World, where at each event, 5 of us gave a colorful present over Zoom to our audience. So for both of these events, we had 100 people from 5 continents. So that was actually the start of the project. What we also did is we ran 2 color weeks, one in March and one in October, where we announced that every day of the week would be dedicated to one color. And we invite all the people on social media, actually, in our own color group on Facebook, called Color Lights World Project, but also on Instagram and LinkedIn, to share the colors in their lives. And it was amazing because in both weeks, the whole social media was flooded with colors. And it was a surprising experience, even for all of us who were kind of the contributors or who were kind of leading this project, how much energy this brought. And then now in the fall season, I ran 3 panels with these experts to 3 different special topics. So the first was about the deep beauty of color and light. The second was color, light, and self-awareness and consciousness. And the third this week was about color, light, and healing. So that's our dedication, that's our passion. And I can say, if I count our participants, I think we have about 700 people who already took part at our events, and even from all 5 continents. So it's really a big joy for me to do that, especially because color and light are my passion and my vocation.
Yeah, I mean, color and light is the universal language, and you're just proving that. And of course, people can get these on your website. Is that correct? So even though they're recorded, how can people access it now?
Yeah, so it's over my website called color/Buresch, BURESCH.at. And there you can go to past Zoominars and actually buy all these recordings. They are all there. It's 20 euros and it's really worth it. I highly recommend it because I'm working now 34 years with colors, but I'm still learning. I'm constantly learning because this knowledge is so broad and so diverse. So yeah, so you are really invited to check that out.
Great. Yeah, and I highly endorse this, folks. So I recommend you buying those. Those are really great as an introduction and even going very deeply in color and light. And as you know, in my practice and my teachings, color and light is always part of my courses and my private practice. And it's so refreshing to have another practitioner give their perspective on color and light, because there's so many ways to receive it. Which takes me to my first question. What are the main areas that you use in terms of working with color and light?
So I'm a holistic color consultant and a color light therapist. And my path was, first I started about 30 years ago to work as a color consultant, giving consulting individuals and also companies regarding the psychological effects of color and also about color harmony. And these were my first 5 years. I was a consultant, and this work made me so fascinated how deep the impact of color goes, that I went for further trainings in the UK with Theo Gimbel. He was also one of the pioneers on the field chromotherapy, and started with working then with chromotherapy 28 years ago now. Actually, on both fields, I have been a pioneer in Austria, one of the first starting this work, which is actually very positive for learning, because when you are a pioneer, you are getting so many headwinds that you constantly have to prove or learn or study what you're doing. So I'm working as a chromotherapist with individual clients, but also with groups. And I've been working with 3 different methods of color light therapy. The first one is the Theo Gimbel color light therapy. The second one is the light therapy after Jacob Lieberman. And the third one is I'm working with the chromotherapy, color dome device of Karl Reiberg.
Oh, great. So we are here with Gabrielle Buresch-Teichmann. She's a holistic color therapist from Austria. She's also one of our featured speakers in my upcoming Holistic Health Summit, January 14th to the 16th, 2022. And so chromotherapy, I want to ask you, what are some of the results that you have seen by applying this process to people?
So first I can say one effect that is really remarkable is when, especially in the winter time, when you use color light therapy regularly, because I've been working in groups, especially in November, December, you know, when there's a lack of light, when it's getting cold, it's an enormous boost for the immune system. Yeah, so people who are applying light regularly and colored light, they do not get sick. They do not get the flu. And this is an effect I know from myself, because everything I recommend, I test on myself. Yeah, it's an immune. Yeah, so it's an immune booster. It's excellent for preventing a seasonal affective disorder. Yeah, the winter depression, and of course many people in Europe and I guess also in the US are very affected by that, because it's a lack of light what's happening. Yeah,
true.
So it prevents SAD and can treat it very quickly. Then it's an excellent therapy that goes along with psychotherapy. So any kind of a change process a person is in, yes, and any kind of stress-related symptoms she has is very well treated with colored light. Then I work more on the level of mind and on the psychological level, but of course I know from my work there are also physicists and medical doctors working with chromotherapy, which I do a little bit less. It's known that it's treating perfectly skin diseases. It's excellent for concentration and for the mind. So it's antidepressant, it's vitalizing. The color yellow, for example, boosts the lymphatic flow. Green is already scientifically proven to treat chronic pain. Blue is excellent for anti-stress. Yeah. So my experience is also when people are, because light is not only a physical energy, it's very transcendental. So it brings the people closer to themselves. Yeah. And it helps them to get to know themselves and to discover their resources and their inner self. Yeah, so the effects are very strong, and one main thing that I can really say, working with color and light makes people happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on all of those things. And, you know, I started off, you know, where I was working through the vision. And of course, many of these eye conditions like cataracts and macular degeneration and learning problems would dissolve, they would go away. And then I started to work like you more into the psycho-emotional and, you know, just want to validate everything that you're saying. And as a practitioner, these are the things that I have seen and some of the insights and discoveries. You know, I always say when you look at a color, it's like looking into a mirror and seeing a new part of yourself. And you're saying that as well. It's a way for people, you know, they can say, oh, it's out there, but no, it's actually in here. And, you know, sometime I'll share some of my research that I did with color and light using a type of machine that measures energy fields and chakras. So I've done a lot of research as well, but I want to know what you, because I see you as a visionary, where do you see chromotherapy in the next 5 to 10 years? Like, where is it going?
Well, chromotherapy is actually a light medicine. And now comes some surprising and very good news. If you Google and if you look up the platform PubMed, which is the National Library of Medicine, and you put in the
Right.
term chromotherapy, you obtain over 16,000 entries on this topic
Oh my
in the
goodness.
past
Wow.
35 years. So this is a proof that the interest and also the research on color light therapy is really increasing exponentially. And also in the past 20 years, we can say, because I've been working also internationally now in the past 7 years, knowing many international pioneers on this field. So in the past 20 years, we can say that this topic is pursued by thousands of researchers at light conferences and also at conferences for laser medicine. Yeah. So
Yes.
what is also interesting is actually we can say we have a rainbow within. Yeah.
That's
And
right.
James Oshman, he has degrees in biology and in physics. Yes. He says our body is interconnected, and our cells carry bioelectrical signals, and also including light impulses. So it's actually proven and known that healthy cells communicate with each other via light impulses and via light and color. Yeah, so that's
That's
very
right.
interesting. And James Oshman, I met him several times at conferences, and he is a pioneer. He also wrote a book on light medicine and on energy medicine, we have to say. And he says he's completely convinced it's only a matter of time that energy medicine and color light therapy are going to become mainstream. We need more validation and more clinical trials, of course. And he actually, that's him saying that, and he's one of the pioneers on this field of energy medicine. And it is my passion, and I'm convinced that this is going to happen. And if we look at this growth in the research, it's a matter of time. So I guess in 5 or 10 years, it is becoming more mainstream. And especially also because we can say light medicine has already landed in the traditional medicine. Yeah, it is already recognized to some extent, and actually the principles of chromotherapy are the same. It's also energy. Yeah. So I think it's very exciting, and especially now as the world is in a process of change, very challenging, but still I have the feeling that changes can happen quicker. And especially now working the past 1.5 years in the pandemic with chromotherapy, and also offering chromotherapy via the Zoominars internationally, I noticed that there's a new interest for this. There's more openness
Interesting.
for this topic.
Oh, that's fabulous. That's good to know. So we are here with Gabrielle Buresch-Teichmann. She's a holistic health practitioner, does color and light therapy. She's internationally known, author, teacher, and we're coming down towards the end of our interview. And I wanted to ask you if you could share maybe one of your case histories, that we could be inspired about and go, oh yeah, this can definitely work. Do you have one that you could you could share with us.
Mhm. Well, some years ago, there was a young lady coming to my practice. It was in September, I think, and her aim was, she says, every winter she gets very depressed because of SAD,
Mm-hmm.
seasonal affective
Yeah.
disorder, and she
Mm-hmm.
discovered me, and she wants to try to do the sessions for that. Yeah, so I did. When I'm doing individual sessions, I'm always applying a test, a color test called Hygeia color spine chart test, where I can also see or recognize how the energy of the person is in the flow, or where there are
Mm-hmm.
blockages. Yeah, so I'm always doing this test prior to a color light application, so that I can recommend the best color. So I did actually 5 sessions with this lady. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then she left because she said, okay, she feels really transformed. She feels ready. Of course, I also gave her some tips what she can do to prevent STD, which is one thing that is very important, is always to go out into the light, even if the days are very short. You don't need sun for that. You just need the daylight. Yeah. So, and after these 5 sessions, she left, and she was feel very happy and transformed, and didn't get any SAD this winter. So I think she left in November then. She didn't get any SAD. And then we had a very positive side effect, which she didn't tell me prior at the beginning of the session. She also has suffers from neurodermitis. You know, that's this skin
Yes.
Illness, and she always gets it in winter when the air heating is dry, the air, etc. And she said after a few sessions, oh, by the way, I didn't tell you, but my neurodermitis is gone as well.
Wow.
Although we were
Wow.
not
Yes.
specifically treating for that.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
I
one
mean,
piece.
yes. So, you know, I often describe light and color as being adaptogenic. So it works, you know, individually based on what you need to bring you back into harmony and balance. And here you're proving that, and you're not chasing symptoms. You're not in a disease-based model. You're tuning in, however you're analyzing it, giving what's needed, and look at all how the body goes back to health and wellness. And this is the power of color and light. And as your prediction in the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to be, you know, available to everybody, and there's more openness and more science behind it. So I'm really looking forward to having you come and share at the summit. And how can folks get in touch with you? I know you do private sessions. You've got a whole slate of workshops next year on Zoom and possibly in person. But how can people get in touch with you, Gabrielle?
Yeah, so please visit my website. It's color slash Buresch, BURESCH.AT. And there I will post soon the program for the next year. We are going to run another program, another training program, and also a program for self-discovery and self-awareness. So yeah, please visit my website, and please check out all the wonderful Zoominars and panels we ran this year. And of course, I'm also here for personal sessions. So there's a certain amount of color therapy you can also do via Zoom. I've tested that this year, and it absolutely works.
It totally does. So I want to endorse you wholeheartedly. Folks, if you want to get a perspective on color and light like no other, contact Gabrielle and do a session with her, take her courses. She is really, really awesome. So I want to thank you for your generosity of spirit today, coming on and sharing. And I look forward to having you at the summit. And I wish you all the best. Thanks so much for being on.
Thanks a lot, Sam, and looking forward to being with you all at the summit. Thanks.
Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something from the EyeClarity Podcast show today. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Spotify and leave a review. See you here next time.